Welcome to the Texas Goat Radio Show. I'm your host, Matorius. This is part 8 of the 1765 live stream, where Owen Benjamin is actively making an argument for the action of grooming children.
Like they're not, that to me doesn't make sense. So if you look at it, so what is sex? What is the point of sex? Sex feels very good, and you can have perversions and all this stuff, and you can have addictions and blah, 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 blah. But what the purpose of sex is procreation. So at what moment does sex become acceptable according to nature? It's post-puberty. Now, I would argue right after a girl has her period, she's still not ready. Like if she's not fully grown, like mentally in this culture, not ready at all. But if you're in the wild, like if you're like, you know, you've watched your dad kill a guy at 5, you're capable of building a house at 9, you know, I don't know. People just grew up fucking fast. I don't even think we can conceive of it. We bought a shipping container today and the salesman said he has 12 kids. I replied, that's amazing. That's awesome. Those people will rule the world. And I know people get mad at Islam and they call it Pislam and fuck you. It's, you know, are you that mad at Mormonism? Because Brigham Young had like 20 wives, you know, but you're not mad because it's racial. And you know it's racial. And
No, it's not racial. The 20 wives were probably of age. Do you see how there's no logic to his statement? No, in the wild, yeah, as soon as they start bleeding, yeah, you can do whatever you want to because it's not restricted by the normalities of society. There's no logic. Oh yeah, you don't like Islam because of these reasons, because of the whole PDF computer file aspect of that. But yeah, I don't hear you talking about Mormons because they had multiple wives. That doesn't make sense. At all.
Shoot the fucking messenger here, but it is.
And I'm not saying that just because you are or you have a certain faith in something, I'm not saying that inherently makes you bad. I'm just saying that there are aspects that need to be discussed and acknowledged, and that his arguments don't make any sense because he is arguing for evil.
Because that vicious, you know, you're dick riding Mohammedan, blah, 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 blah. Okay, would you like to know the truth about why you're like that? It's because you're threatened racially. And there's another group of people that are threatened with their sexual perversion.
The answer to that is no. Absolutely not. Under any circumstance. No. The guy that is racist is saying, hey, man, you don't like people that have relations with children because you're a racist. No. That's not a thing.
Because Islam bans pornography and they ban sodomy and they ban fornication. Like you go to jail if you're gay there, okay? And so a lot of gay Christians, and there's a lot of them, lisping, bald-faced, feminine freak shows. They get really threatened by not being able to jack their little dicks to sodomy. But if we're going to have a real conversation about what is going on with this, just understand if there was any prepubescent contact in any way, I think he should have been arrested, executed, okay? Not to be too intimate, but I had my first period at 9. So in this.
Sorry, I was drinking water. If you haven't, drink water today, guys. What he just said doesn't make any sense, and this is coming from a dude, Owen Benjamin, who said that King David was worse than Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted human trafficker of adolescent people. Disgusting is what Owen is.
1600s, if I met someone who wanted to marry me, in theory I could get married. Yeah, and like back then, if everybody was getting signed into slavery, it's like, you know, in America, the age of consent to marriage in Delaware up until 1900 was 7. Okay? For most of the...
That's true, right there. That statement. That is the first time that I've heard Owen mention that, and that whole historical moment. Because he used to say, in the entire United States, it was 7. No, it was just Delaware.
Country is between 10 and 12. So your country has this history. And so you're presented with...
I think it was 12. Well, it could have been 10. I don't remember. I didn't take notes on it, so it's hard for me to remember. Either way, just because it was acceptable back then doesn't mean... That's why growth matters. It's one of the reasons why it took me so long to acknowledge the fact that Owen probably is just an evil person. And I say probably because it's really hard for me to go to a place to where there's no hope for somebody. That's that. Whenever you say that there's no hope for someone, you're saying that they are condemned. And in this realm, in the physical form, I believe that there is hope. Mercy triumphs over judgment until you are dead before the throne.
Something now where it's like, okay, all your ancestors and your religion and your country were all a bunch of disgusting pedophile slave owners who are evil. That's what they're trying to tell you. And it's like, no, we are not descended from evil men. We're not descended from pedophiles. I don't think it's just racial. There's something spiritual there. Otherwise, they'd be spiraling about Hindus, Buddhists, and other religions. Oh, yeah. There's something going on with the hatred of Islam, man. All the prophets' wives, with the exception of Aisha, were widows or divorcees, not the profile of a pedophile. Yeah. No, I'm talking about the people I know that aren't spiritually demonic, that don't like Islam. It's racial. Okay? Like, I know dudes that are like, if you're not capable of seeing any virtues of Islam, you're either, in my opinion...
Right. If you're not capable of seeing any virtues of Islam. Well, see, I still think that's a stupid argument. It's not about the virtues of Islam. It's about the virtues of Muslims, people that are Islam, that have that faith. They're not condemned. They're not evil just because of their connection with Islam. And so, I mean, I think that's a reasonable statement. That would be like saying, well, this person claims to be Christian and he is a horrible person. So therefore, it's Owen's argument for Christianity. He knows a couple of people that are terrible Christians, and so the entirety of Christianity in this age is just evil and pathetic and whatever. He doesn't make any sense. There's
either totally demonic or it's racial, which I understand, which I totally understand. But if you're not looking at an Islamic country and saying they banned porn and banned gayness, and nothing about that resonates with you. They banned alcohol. They banned drugs. They banned pop music. You're not allowed to, like, wet ass pussy is not allowed to be played on the radio there. Like, if you don't see anything about that civilization that's good, like, you're lying. Now, if you live in an area that's been overrun by quote unquote Muslim migrants and you hate them for it, that's totally understandable. Because that isn't, to me, that's not demonic. It's just understandable. Like, nobody wants to be fucking replaced. All right, fair enough. Not everyone's into hummus, and that's okay. No, it's worse than just hummus, Bismol Bear. You're talking about just like a culture. There's some really fucked up people. Okay, so this is the Zio-Cuck cycle. Somebody threatens their world reserve currency. They bomb them into oblivion. Refugees get dispersed. So, okay, let's say you go into Yemen. You bomb them into the Stone Age. A bunch of males that now there's all chaos. They head to Europe. They head to America. The jails are freed. It's like pure chaos. If you don't like those dudes, that's totally fine. Are Muslims very racist? They have a stronger identity of nation than white Americans, yes. They're not allowed to have magic blood according to Sharia. Like, they're not allowed to be like supremacists, like Arab supremacy or anything like that. But they are granted bloodlines and granted their ability to self-determine. So Kuwaitis can be Kuwaitis and live amongst Kuwaitis and blah, 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 blah. Muslims love to hate each other so much. It's a sport. Shia, Sunni, Kurds, so on, says David. David, you really cracked the code there, buddy. You really figured it out. You shave-faced little queer. I'm tired of many of the lazy bitches in Iran, but I guess their economy is different. Islam is a set of laws based on a claim on divine principles. Am I saying all Muslims are good people? Are you fucking retarded? Like, what? Like, people are like, oh, so you don't think Muslims ever jerk and square? There is a spiritual component to it, man. I mean, my job is pretty intense. I go into slave quarters and I say true shit, and it's like, and then they just...
I'm sorry. There's just... Listening to him talk in circles and say nothing of value. Which, whenever I say that, I'm looking at the entire picture. He does say things that have some kind of value. He is capable of saying truths. Universal truths, partial truths, nuggets of truth, whatever. But it all goes back to his sacred cow, himself. I find it problematic that he says the things that he says about Christianity, but then sticks up for Islam the way he does. And it shows his hypocrisy, because the same argument that he has for Islam should be the same argument that he has for Christianity. Now, my opinion, the reason why he can't do that is because Christianity has Jesus Christ. That's what Christianity is. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the Son of God. And that's one of the reasons most of the major religions of the world acknowledge Jesus as something, as a prophet or whatever. But they take away the fundamental aspect of what makes Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, being the Son of God, allowing us to be adopted sons and daughters of Father God. That's why our spirit can cry, Abba, Father. That's one of that. I think that is the reason why Owen can't make the same argument for Christianity as he does Islam. Because of that one, and I'll say universal truth, because it is.
Scream and screech and go to Reddit. Twitter is down hard right now. What does that mean? I just went to Twitter. Is it down? Is Twitter like broken now? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's move on. I don't like Islam because Islam. That's kind of funny, Gravy Davy Bear. I don't give a fuck what religion you are. I'm just trying to help you understand the world around you that you don't seem to understand sometimes. Like, why do these things keep happening to me? You know, like that question you hear people say. And so I try to help them understand it, try to put the pieces together. Like, what does Islam mean as a word? Like, what does the word mean? You know, what's a Jew? What's a Zionist? And if you think about it, it wasn't that long ago that America had really strong laws. And I'll show you some in a second. Is USDA bear taken? It's pretty funny, Moon Jazz. Can I be re-verified as Jew Lone Bear? Moon Cum Bear, also acceptable. You can stay Moon Jazz. I appreciate you rolling with my jokes, though. Onward to Beartari Festival. And T Cruz, Balance Bear. Stoked for the festival.
I appreciate you rolling with my jokes. Also known as, I appreciate you tolerating my abuse to you. You can't imagine you're in a relationship with someone and they constantly blow up, yell at you, call you names. But then they're like, I'm sorry, man. I was just trying to be funny. Like, no, you're not on stage. You don't have a microphone. You were legitimately angry whenever you were saying those things. It's not humor. It's not. It's abuse. And he is actively trying to normalize so much toxic, vulgar, venomous behavior.
And all the epic things it will hold. Wobbly's wedding, anchor crushing, your comedy. It's going to be such an epic weekend. Looking forward to seeing all the bears. If you're going to be there,
they're talking about the Cult Fest. Yeah, this is the Texas Goat Radio Show, and I'm your host, Matorius. As always, till next time.